8-Bit Breakdown.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to 8-Bit Breakdown. We are live right now, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
We are live.
This is a big deal. Yeah, I think so. It says streaming. So welcome to the What Will Be podcast and official live stream if you're joining us tonight.
So I think, Mike, you are muted. Yes. This is the best part about live.
So
you have all the technical difficulties.
Shows I'm unmuted.
I got nothing. Well, anyways, today, guys, we have a very, very special show for everybody until we get Mike situated here. We are going to be discussing Doom and everything that goes along with it. Oh yeah, there we go. Wait, do we have Mike back now? Is Mike here?
Hello.
There he is. What's up, man? We missed you.
Don't know. Didn't change any settings, guys. But I'm here. What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
What is going on, everybody?
Oh, hello. I'm distraught from a series of failures and issues we've had tonight. Regarding this live stream, Facebook won't let me post to it, nor will YouTube. So here we are on Twitch this evening, guys. So welcome to 8-Bit Breakdown.
You know what I say to all those other channels? They can go fuck themselves. I don't want to say that specifically because we might enjoy them one day, but
yeah, we might.
You know what? Hey,
from them.
Hey, you know what? That's what technical difficulties are all about. I've never heard of anything being perfect ever. I just appreciate everybody's patience with us. I apologize about my audio in the last podcast. I sounded like I was speaking through a fucking tin can. Mike tried to make his magic work, and magic couldn't happen on this voice. So thank you for that, Mike, by the way.
Yeah, we try.
If my belly hurts, I try. So, Mike, question for you. What are you listening to right now, man?
Well, let me take a sip of this bourbon.
Cheers, Mike.
Wet the whistle, you know. Cheers to you, sir.
Yeah.
This is going to be, something we've discussed in the past that we might have different opinions on. Currently, I am delving deep into the discography, starting from their first album to the most recent song that was released, and that is Sleep Token.
All right. Yeah, I'll you enjoy that, brother. You enjoy that, brother.
Thank you, sir. But,
you know what? We will have a podcast dedicated to your fucking Sleep Token one of these days.
Oh, I'm ready to delve into the lore. There is a lot of lore that entangles them, and it almost kind of goes hand in hand almost with the video game aspect in a way, where it's just like this, where you want to learn and know more, and they've painted this picture without going too much into it, because this isn't what the show's about, but they certainly paint a picture through multiple albums of this series of events that happens and the struggles that the lead singer Bessel goes through. So it's certainly really good. I don't know how else to explain it. And I know we have a lot of varying opinions about this band. Not even Kevin. I know other people do as well. But yeah, it's currently what I'm listening to. How about you, man?
I'm kicking a throwback. I am listening to I've been cranking not only my hog, but Unearth, man. Unearth, the oncoming storm. I slapped that bad boy in, and oh man, yeah. Talk about just Oh, raw from start to finish, just awesome, just nonstop. The whole album, just a banger. So that's what
That's
I've been listening to.
it's a great album. There's
Hands
some
down.
footage out there that we'll have to pull up one day. Maybe we'll have a stream looking up, random memes and old footage and things like that. It could just kind of be like a random night, where we're just maybe having a few extra drinks than just the standard one this evening and delving in. But one of our friends was throwing down in my basement to what was a like 2006 YouTube video that's floating around out there that smashed his fist into my parents' ceiling fan to one of the songs off of that album. So it would be worth checking out.
It'll always have a place in your heart, and it'll always have a place in my heart as well.
And a place on YouTube. That somehow there's a lot of people that I maybe accidentally, I believe, just stumbled on this video. Because it has quite a number of views at this point. I know it's just not me looking it up. So I'm pretty sure people are just like, what the hell is this?
Who's this guy throwing down to unearth?
That's great, though. Yeah.
Is it at the breakdown part where he says,
yes.
Breakdown.
Oh, yeah. Breakdown.
Falls
on the floor, gets up, continues to fight invisible ninjas, and then smashes his fist into the ceiling fan as my parents are asleep.
So with that, moving on over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about this topic today, man. All
Me
about
too.
Doom. Everything from lore to just discussions to maybe a point in time that really like made a difference for you. But my question for you, when were you introduced to Doom? Because I know it was the original. What was it, 95? 94, 95? So when were you introduced to the original one?
So I believe Doom came out 93, if I'm not
I was going to say,
mistaken.
I'm pretty sure it was before 95.
Doom 95 was, I want to say the port, but was, I mean, with Windows, the game ran on DOS, prior to us having the beautiful graphical interface of Windows. But yeah, 93, and I want to say it was probably somewhere between 93 and 94.
I fucking love DOS, dude.
Me too.
Me too.
Not really. I mean, it's okay. I want to say probably about 90. But I would go on the verge and say it was 94 because I remember this was aside from Atari and being a kid, because I think that was like my first console. My dad brought his Atari around.
Fucking Atari.
And Atari. That was what I got.
Wow.
What I got started on. Space Invaders, Donkey Kong, all that stuff. Like barely knowing how to play it at all, but just having fun. I remember vividly, and this was just probably my introduction into first-person shooters. Being about 5, 6 years old, and my dad taking me up to his office, and he had to go up there for one weekend. He worked near DC, and we had like spent the day in DC doing some other fun stuff, but he had to go up there for some work related things. So takes me to the office first, and he was like, all right, I gotta do some things. Let me load this game up for you. He said, me and my, I don't know what he said, friends or coworkers, colleagues, or whatever he said. We play this a lot. I'm like, okay. And he loads up the floppy disks, and here it is. It's Doom. And he's like, I'm watching him on a black screen on MS-DOS loading Doom up, and Doom pops up. And me being this young, I think goes into the console, turns on like God mode, unlimited ammo, things like that. And then I had this picturesque memory of just like DOS screen, Doom loading, and just a couple random moments. Granted, at this point, this is 30 years ago now, but I still remember this like vivid image of like blasting stuff, demons at like 5 or 6 years old, just like
that's a great fucking
at
memory.
The computer, dude. And ever since then, 30 years later, here I am still absolutely loving first-person shooters, absolutely loving the Doom series, and cannot wait for the Dark Saga. So it's
Dude,
30 years in the making.
Do you remember shareware?
Oh yeah, I remember shareware.
So I'll go on a tangent here in a minute, but so when we got our first PC in 95. It was a Packard Bell.
Ooh.
Or yeah, it wasn't even HP or Hewlett Packard that. It was
Packard Bell.
Packard Bell in 95. Came with a Journeyman Project Turbo, and I don't even think Mist came with it. There's a lot of computers back in the day came with Mist. It was like that was like the big thing to show, to show off how well a computer was. And I remember specifically, my brother and I had no idea how to play Journeyman Project. So mind you, we're like 9-10 years old at the time. He's probably 12. And so we go to Best Buy, or maybe Circuit City or Service Merchandise or someplace.
Oh, Service Merchandise.
Where Service is state of the art, bro. And he said, you guys can go ahead and get a PC game for each of you. You guys can pick one out. And he said, you can get $5 a piece. That's it. So you can only spend $5 on a PC game. And I specifically remember my brother picking up a shareware version of Forgotten Realms. Like, it's almost like a Baldur's Gate game, but it was not. It was something about Kryn. So it was either Dragonlance or Forgotten Realms. It's like an RPG, like an old school dungeon RPG. And I picked up Doom because I thought it looked cool. And my dad was never one to shy away from me, watching horror stuff and playing whatever video game I wanted to. And of course, Doom was it back in the day. That was like the pinnacle of blood and gore at the time. And yeah, he just let me pick it up, played it. I played it. I remember putting it in, playing the whole first episode, and being really upset that I couldn't play anymore. So, but I fell in love with it. I don't know anybody that didn't play Doom back then and like didn't fall in love with the game.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. So that's I do remember like getting the shareware version like later down the road, and I do remember like the hard cutoff after the first episode where you could almost like mail into like ID at the time.
Yeah, you couldn't. The shareware wouldn't even give you all the guns. Like, if you notice when you play Doom for the first time, you play through all the first episode. Since it was shareware, I don't think you get the plasma rifle. I don't think you get the. I don't know if you get the BFG or not, man. I can't remember.
I don't recall. That sounds right. That does sound right.
But they saved other things. They saved it for, and a lot of games did that. Blood did that. I know Shadow Warrior did a lot of the shareware games. But no, on the tangent. So Quake, you remember the original Quake, obviously, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you look, I don't even know if it's still big or popular right now. But if you go online and like go on eBay and you type in like Quake shareware disc, the hard copy, it used to at one point in time it was going for an astronomical amount of money, because on the shareware disc, you could unlock by either going to this website or calling. You could get a code. They would give you a code that would unlock everything on that disc. And that consisted of Quake, Doom, Doom 2. Man, I want to say a couple other games, like Final Doom, maybe. It was a lot. Like there was a lot of like games that were just on this Quake shareware disc. And it was all there. It just needed to be unlocked with a code. And yeah, my dad and I did that when we were younger. That's how we got all those full versions of games.
Wait, so you found a code that could unlock it, quote unquote,
Yes.
found?
Yeah, it was a code generator. You could just find a code generator.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just generate it. It was amazing.
Keygens and stuff back in the day.
Yes, it was awesome. And I remember just going into like middle school, just being like, I had the biggest penis in the world, because I was like,
yeah. Look at all my games. Look at my stuff.
What's that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's just like, with
Oh
that with
yeah.
his drink. He's with his tea. That's
Uh-huh.
it's kind of how I was in English class in
Just
seventh grade.
making a mockery of everybody else. Oh, you peasant.
But yeah, so Doom, man, what is there to say about it? Like what a monumental game.
It really is. I mean,
And
it
it,
defined a series. Any first person shooter you play right now, you give credit to this. You always give credit to this game.
yeah.
Like this
What
is
did it
this
do?
is it.
What did it do differently though, as opposed to, because there were games prior to Doom. Like there was Blakestone, there was a game before Doom came out that they did called like Pit or something, like The Pit. It was a first person shooter, like Rise of the Triad, like all those. Like what did
Yeah.
Doom do differently? Like what would you say Doom did differently as opposed to all these other, I don't want to say clones that tried to do it, but what do you feel really set it apart? Do you think it was the gore? Do you think it was the aesthetic, like the demon aesthetic? Because it was so just part of the satanic cult movement. I mean, I don't know.
I think yeah. I mean yeah, and yeah, we had Wolfenstein, I believe, came out prior to
Yeah,
this as well.
yeah, Wolfenstein.
I I think
Mein Leben.
my Leben. I really think Doom set a standard. I know that there was a much without being too much into the whole game development aspect of things. I know that there was a like looking at Doom compared to Wolfenstein. I know there was some like developments there that really set it apart. But I think aside just from the developmental standpoint, I think Doom just really was that game to set again. I mean, it was gory. It was you as this guy fighting demons, like with the this premise of you are this like last Marine alive and just having to make it through, I'll say hell on Earth, but hell on Mars. That I think just drew a lot of people in. I mean, it's certainly for its time a unique title. I think it just drew a lot of people in from that dark aspect of it. Not to say Wolfenstein didn't really set a standard either, but I really feel like Doom, just took precedence over that in many avenues. And I think, and again, without really combing the fine details of game development, I think there is something there, and it's hard to, see it this day and age with what we have out now with these like RTX power games and, but like at the time, comparing and contrasting like Wolfenstein to Doom was like next level. Like as far as
yeah,
like the world
apples to
creation.
oranges almost.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like just the clunky blue walls of Wolfenstein, and then here you are in this grim, dark atmosphere of Doom. I really think that set it aside and finally became like the standard, I guess, moving forward for games.
I think the fact that he was a Marine played a big role in that too. I think that made a big deal. I know that sounds really silly to say, but I think that, and then you've got to think Aliens came out a couple years later, if not,
that's
like,
right,
2 or 3 years later. I think
I never played that Aliens.
Well, no, just the movie is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, wasn't
like
there there was a game though, right? Wasn't there a
there was a lot of games. I mean, Aliens
there
were
was something
Predator.
like very like Doom-esque that I feel like was like the Doom, that Quake, I'm gonna say Quake engine, but that engine that it ran on.
Maybe.
I could be wrong, but I could have sworn there was.
It was a Star Wars. It was Dark Forces.
There was
That
Star
a pretty
Wars.
damn good game.
Yeah.
But I think the Marine aspect played a big role. I think that was just something that was the here and now at the time. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like Doom was just awesome. I don't think anybody, I think a lot of PC gamers could probably play E1M1 blindfolded at this point. All you need to hear is that music, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it'll get your blood pumping. But yeah, what a great start. Mara did a great job with that. I mean, the whole team, they knew what they were doing. They weren't silly. They were like, let's make a nasty fucking game with a lot of just blood and guts and no more Mein Leben.
Mein Leben. So
What was the other?
now,
What's the other? What's the other saying that he says in that game
was it like
instead of
Guten
mindless?
Tag? It was Guten Tag. I think that's when
Guten Tag, the dude at the end with 2 machine guns.
yeah, the evil we shouldn't speak his name on here. I don't know what that'll do to us, but yeah. The
What?
guy that ran the
Who?
Mein Leben, dude. I can't say his name.
The Third Reich, man.
That
You
guy.
end up killing him in many Wolfenstein games.
Yeah. And come to think of it, when I'm thinking about Wolfenstein, that was in the compare and contrast between the two. Doom was non-linear. Like as far as like it had like depth and like layers with like
It was out in the opening. It was quote unquote open world with a skybox, things like that.
Yes.
You're right.
But Wolfenstein did not have that like where you could get on elevators and like go, cross over the level and like come back down. But I think that also was kind of, drew that whole
like that was a big deal. Agreed.
It was a massively big deal.
Or a jump. I'd say it's a jump in tech.
I don't even know if Wolfenstein did that have various difficulties? Because then I know Doom was like, oh, you beat the game.
Oh, yeah.
I would try like ultra violence.
Yes. No, they did. They did. BJ Blazkowicz, man, he still had his own Hurt Me Plenty and those kind of things. Yeah, see, ultra violence, nightmare, things like that. They did. I think there was 4, I believe, in Wolfenstein, and even up to recent with the Bethesda ones that they did with Wolfenstein New Order. God, great fucking games, man. Both of those. I can't speak for Youngblood, but the Wolfenstein New Order and New Colossus or whatever the second one was, dude, what bangers of games. But yeah, they did the same thing. They kept that same kind of like Hurt Me Plenty, where it's got a baby, go up to the easy mode, and he's like, BJ's sucking on a pacifier with like a bonnet on, and then you go to like ultra violence, he's just like looking nasty.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, I think BJ Blazkowicz and Doom Guy together could probably stop any universal threat known to man.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the way they're like painted, like they 100% could. Like
do you remember the what's that Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the guy who played Apollo Creed? I can't remember his name. And they're like, Dylan, you son of a bitch. That's BJ and Doom Guy. Just
bitch.
Fucking ripped. Yeah, just strong arms. Just
they're like greased up. Yeah, what a scene.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
What was again, we can't leave out, and considering our podcast, that the soundtrack, even though it was MIDI, was heavily influenced by metal.
Oh yeah, it was heavily influenced by Metallica.
It was Metallica,
and thrash, just in general.
Yeah, there was like Slayer. There was some Pantera influence.
Yeah, there were
Metallica.
I mean, you go online, you go on YouTube. There's so many people that'll compare E1M1 to Master of Puppets, and it's funny because if you listen to the game, it sounds like you're listening to Master of Puppets. But then when you listen to Master of Puppets, you're like, this doesn't sound anything like it. Like even the fact that it's like MIDI, you're just like, this is the same pattern. It's not the same beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's weird how it like gets you in that mindset. And I don't know how Metallica probably took that. I probably would have been flattered as hell. I'd have been like, oh hell yeah.
Yeah, but here we go. We'll bring up Lars again. He if that was any resemblance to any of those songs, ID would have been bankrupt.
You guys can't sell it on Napster. Yeah, we never would have gotten a Doom 2 or anything.
No.
But yeah, no, definitely. It was that whole soundtrack was just metal.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Back in the day, I'm like watching this video. It's like just bringing me back to old times.
Yeah, man.
I mean, is he getting all the secrets? I think he got them all.
He did get the secrets.
The other day. Is this the guy who beats it in 14 seconds?
No,
Dude.
there's a guy. I don't think we'd have enough footage if we were to watch, this one gentleman who beat it in 14 seconds, um,
That's
which
just all
is
we're playing.
and crazy. This probably took me like a good 20 minutes as a kid first doing it on my own without God mode and stuff to get through this level. But
Well,
yeah,
that brings us to Doom 2, man. Now
Doom 2.
I gotta tell you, there's not much there's not much I can really say about Doom 2. It's not so much that I didn't play it because I've played the hell out of Doom games. I will sit here and tell you that I anytime it releases anywhere, I will buy it. Like if it
Mhm.
comes out remastered or like remade or whatever, like a remaster, it's like, oh yeah, in 4K or whatever. I'm gonna buy it. I don't care if it looks bad or not. I need it on every console. I need it on every computer I have. I need to see if it runs better on my than it did back in on Windows 95. I mean, there's no reason for it, but I've played all of these games except for one of them so many times. And there's not really much I will tell you the super shotgun was awesome because that's obviously one of the things that stood apart. There's new enemies, there was revenants. This was the appearance of
Revenant.
revenants when they first came in. And but I'll tell you, I liked something about the episodes I really enjoyed, and Doom 2 didn't have that. And I don't know why that was. I felt like that was always it bothered me, but maybe that's again because I came from that era of that time that Blood, I'll say them all the time, but Blood, Duke Nukem 3D, things like that. Like you had chapters, you had episodes. And this was the first one that really didn't have that. It was just a playthrough.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it didn't. It didn't. It was just episode. It was just mission by mission.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain you're right.
If I'm wrong, chat, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me to go fuck
Call
myself.
him
That's
out.
fine.
I know with Doom 2, that is, I mean, kind of segueing, or not segueing, but going back into Doom, I think also what was a pinnacle aspect of that game is that was really the first multiplayer aspect that you had with a game where you had deathmatch.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
with Doom 2, and if I'm not mistaken, you can call me out on my bullshit chat. I believe Doom 2 was, of course, we had the multiplayer LAN version of this. I think this was the first time you could actually play online with people, like through dial-up, for a game.
Yeah,
You could actually
I,
play multiplayer. It was the
that
rise
makes
of like
sense.
literally multiplayer deathmatch, like being able to play. How well it worked, I don't know, but I do know like you could play this online. Like this was it.
And
And
also,
because of that, there was with the online aspect, this is where, not to say there wasn't mods, but this also was a huge blow up for like the modding community.
took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was gonna say. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, you can keep in mind, modders were really big. Oh, it was the. I want to say that some of these, like, you could just go online and download the map maker. If it didn't
Mhm.
come with it, I think the game probably came with some sort of like level design maker that you could just make yourself, and you could just play. I mean, that's how we got. Dude, I know you used to see them. Like you'd go to PC shows or fucking Walmart or Best Buy, and it was like, I know you had to remember them. It's like Doom, 1,000+ levels. And it's like, it's all it is just a shit ton of modded. It could be
Custom
garbage.
mods, dude.
Exactly. It could just be garbage, or they could be great. And I feel like, so when I was growing up, I thought that's what Doom 2 was. I firmly believed that Doom 2 was just a bunch of designed levels that creators had come out with, and they sent it in, and ID Software was like, oh yeah, let's make it into Doom 2. Oh, I'm sure I'm wrong on that, but again, growing up, that's what I thought because I
Yeah,
had
yeah, yeah.
seen with Quake Oh, Quake was horrible with it, man. There was one add-on called Shrek for Quake. Whoa,
Shrek.
whoa, it was horrible. I think you played like the second level, just it would just shut down your computer, or you couldn't even beat it. I can't remember. I played it for like 5 minutes, and I literally pulled it out of my
What was the
CD-ROM, and I
premise of
snapped it in half.
Shrek?
So Shrek was just custom maps, but you played them level by level, and you may have been able to load them up, but I guess the second or the first or second level I played was like either A, unbeatable, or B, it kept like breaking my PC at the time. So I chucked it and I got rid of it. My dad said, well, at least it was only $2.99 at a PC show. But I think that's what Doom 2 was. And again, I'm not saying, I'm not saying that that's what it was, but that's growing up. That's what I used to believe, because it felt like a lot of modded levels, aside from the Super Shotgun.
Yeah.
That was just me. Do you have anything else
Oh,
on Doom 2?
it wasn't as it was something I played, certainly. I didn't get to
You can
experience
play it.
I played it, but yeah, I did play it later in life. Doom was really the one that stuck with me, and maybe it was because I not necessarily felt that it was like a modded game, but or maybe I just didn't have it, or it wasn't accessible. I don't know, but definitely Doom was just what I stuck with. Um, Later in life, I did play it, and maybe I would have experienced it if I had, internet. I just think I was maybe too young to really experience like all that it had to offer in that regard, like being able to go out and like look up mods. And I mean, I was just way too young to. I mean, that I love that sort of thing now. You know me, I love
Yeah.
grabbing some mods and
Oh, I know.
tinkering with stuff. So
Yeah. If it's Doom that everybody is Thomas the Tank Engine, then
oh
my
yeah,
dad
that's
definitely loves it.
yeah. I don't know if you've seen the Doom overhaul where they made it. Tim Allen was everything, from the walls to the guns to the enemies. It was just Tim Allen's head, and just it was just the doors opening, the gun shooting, the enemies grunting was all just that noise, and just
Not
Tim
that
Allen replays for every texture.
just Home Improvement Doom. That's it. I also believe there's a hentai version out. I would not suggest to download it or to look it up. It is definitely not safe for work, but I'm pretty sure there is, if I remember correctly.
I think there's quite a bit of.
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
I've unfortunately not played. Well, I've tried
Call
some.
a spade, Mike.
Yeah, there are some really horrible. Like, I don't know why people made these. They exist. There's some, from fruition came, a great thing, the modding community, but within that is some very shady shit. Like, makes me question people's sanity and beliefs. But nonetheless, yeah, that's human nature.
So next up is Doom 64. Again, this is the one. This is the one that I don't have. I've played this. I'm not even kidding you. I've played this one time, and I played it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe. And the reason.
I mean, I know it was 64, but
so I will tell you. And man, that video is clipping like crazy. I don't know what's going on right now with it. But I mean, that sounds like. So N64. So I never played it on 64. I never had any desire to, but it was mainly because I thought it was literally just Doom all over again. I thought it was just Doom on the Nintendo 64. I didn't realize it was a completely new game, a completely different game. Brand new enemies, all this other stuff. There's new weapons in the game. And probably until like way past its time, like when it was important, like it was way past its relevance when I realized, oh, it's a different game. It was probably when we were working at that game store, and I was like, oh, you know, one of these days I'll end up picking up an N64, which I have. I just never picked up Doom 64, but I played it on the PlayStation, and when that was released, and it's good. It's again, it's more of the same. It's nothing. I mean, I'm probably going to get roasted for this, but I don't think it was anything to write home about because it was still, you know, slightly better graphics than Doom and Doom 2. And yeah, I mean, the lighting was a lot better. The level design was great. The enemies were really good. Yeah, it was just more of the same. It was nothing. Again, it was nothing to write home about. But that's kind of how I felt with Doom 2.
Yeah.
What about you, man? Did you ever play
Yeah.
this game?
Again, way later in life, I tried it out because I also was under the impression this was just Doom ported over to N64.
Right? Because it came. I want to say Doom's been on every single console.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive it has.
I maybe I just didn't. I mean, we didn't have YouTube and things like this back in N64 days. I mean, I guess I could have done a little bit more due diligence to look into it, but yeah, that was just my impression. I was like, yeah, this is just Doom. I've played Doom. I don't need to play this. Like, I just figured they ported Doom over like they've done everything else with put Doom on everything. So, but
Yeah, I think. Yeah, God, dude, fucking Caco demons and the those one demons that spawn out the flaming skulls. I can't remember their names, but fuck those guys, dude. I'm watching it right now. Fuck those guys. Yeah, they were a pain in the ass. Good game though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in retrospect, and like the little bit I played of it, really the whole reasoning behind me playing it was, and I'm sure we'll go into a little bit more deep dive of it later, but this was really the start of the official canon of the Dooms that I'm sure a lot more people are familiar with now, with Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal and Doom Dark Saga coming out. This was the
Dark Saga. It's gonna piss me off. Dark Ages.
Dark Ages. Sorry, Dark Ages. Sorry, Doom guy. Don't beat me to death.
Same. No, same. I was gonna say same letters, just different, swapped over. But no.
Yeah, yeah. There you
Saga,
go.
Ages, Saga.
Same thing. But this is the official start of the canon. For
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
For 2016 and Doom Eternal and the Dark Ages. Mm-hmm.
So this is when I, having realized that when Doom 2016 came out, it's probably about when I actually sat down and played this game. And then, of course, watching videos and stuff too. And it's like, oh, okay. So it gave me a little bit more, I don't want to say respect for it, because I mean, all the Doom games deserve respect. But it's kind of cool that they segued from this game into Doom 2016, and it left a lot of room to build upon because for the way they did it. So I do know that, you know, the end of this game was hints at the idea that Doomslayer stays in hell and just fights for centuries. He just never leaves. He's like, okay, we can't be dealing with this problem anymore. So I'm just going to stay down here and just fight them all to death.
Yeah, because this is a parallel universe, right?
This is not.
I thought Doom 64 was a different universe than Doom 1 and Doom 2. That's what I'm saying.
I think there is some. I think you can segue off of those two into this one a little bit more than you could do, like, say, Doom 3. That's a completely different universe. I think there still is some, like, a little bit of ties here. And again, not knowing the story that well of Doom 64, I believe this can, in some weird way, like, loosely tie, because Doom 1 and 2 I just think was its own thing. But
yeah,
this still has some semblance of, like, him. He does go back to Mars, you know, in this, and it's like he's fighting his way through back into hell and all this.
Fuck Phobos, dude.
Oh, Phobos.
Phobos. He was a beast in Quake 3 Arena too.
Yeah.
I loved playing as Doom guy in Quake 3. That was amazing.
Oh, it made you just feel like
Unstoppable.
invincible, dude. Yeah.
Big time. All right, so what's next, Mike?
What's next here? We have some additional things lined up here. So we've covered good amount of Doom so far. Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 64.
Yeah.
But there is one question that remains. Can it run Doom?
Are you talking about those?
Oh yeah.
Are you,
I'm talking about
are you talking about
what?
those weird people that, I don't want to say weird, but people that try to run Doom on the most like oddest shit in the world,
Oh,
like a heartbeat monitor from
it's
a hospital or something.
ingenuity at its peak. It is just you just cannot. I mean, some of the things that people do here is absolutely insane. For example,
I've seen a
I think
couple.
this is
of
probably
these.
one of the first iterations that maybe somebody's. I'm sure there's probably other things, but somebody is running Doom on a TI-83 plus. I don't think I don't know if I actually ever played that. I did play like Drug War on the TI-83.
I knew if it wasn't Drug War or Snake, I wasn't fucking playing
it. But somebody officially was able to port it down and make it run on
that.
TI-83.
That actually doesn't look bad. Great hand shading.
That is really good hand shading.
It really is. I gotta give them credit for it. So for audio listeners, this is literally Doom on a TI-83 plus. Texas Instruments. Those $100 fucking shit. If I spend $100 on a calculator, it better run Doom back in the day.
100%. Yeah. I probably put more use to playing Drug Wars out of this calculator than actually using it for like algebra. But
fucking Drug War.
It was a good game, just
in ninth grade, just
yeah, I'm dealing drugs in the back of the classroom.
I'm gonna sell coke. I'm gonna sell methamphetamines. Oh my god, could you imagine? Like, I know it sounds bad, like with everything going on. Could you imagine, like, a kid nowadays like playing a game called Drug War in the back of the classroom right now? Pretty sure you'd get expelled.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure. What are you doing back there, Bobby? Just selling methamphetamine? Like
100%.
That's an Apple Watch.
I don't even know how you play this. It probably, I mean, it's a good screen on an Apple Watch.
Oh, dude, I would.
This is really nice screens on this.
I mean, do you wear it on your wrist while you play it? Like, hold on real quick.
Yeah, I don't know yeah, I don't know how you necessarily play it, but it is.
I mean,
cool,
you could click.
Sure it works.
You could click to shoot.
Yeah.
Move around with finger, I guess, maybe.
It's probably.
I don't know how you're supposed to.
I know somebody did it. This is legitimate. I have to look up some videos of it. I'm sure there's probably maybe like a designated button for shoot, because that's all you need is like up, down, left, right, and shoot.
That's it.
I'm probably shooting.
There's no. You don't need strafe.
There is like a
get rid of jumping.
Like you hit the wall.
You just tap. You just tap.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just tap. Sure. Tap face. Tap face.
Tap face, dude.
What else do you have? Is this a vape?
Have Doom on this dank vape mod, dude.
What is
that Doom thing? That man's only 126 puffs in,
and he's ready to play more Doom. Because clearly he's played it before, because there's a continue on the screen.
Oh, it's killing his battery.
Oh, I'm sure it drains.
But that's a sacrifice you make. It's, do I need nicotine or do I need Doom?
So I guess that's my curiosity is how do you play these? Like it's great that it runs it, but how do you play it?
Well, I know with these like so like the buttons down at the bottom and maybe like the fire button at the top, but
Fire button at the top.
I don't, you know, to be honest, I don't, there has to be some very, I don't know, you know, some of these people are very like this ingenuity behind this thing.
You plug the USB charger in and that's what
Yeah, you
starts
can
up.
just plug
That's
an
entered, that's
Xbox
used.
controller in that bad boy. No, I don't know.
That's true. It is USB-C. Just that's just playing on
Then
there.
we also have Doom
this
on
one's
the ATM machine.
dude.
I could honestly see this. I mean, you have a lot of buttons here. This could work.
I bet this would be fun though. You could use 2, 4, and 2, 4, 5, and 6 as your WASD. This is clean. This is fresh, dude. I would play this. And that guy, the fact that he has a Quake tattoo.
That is really cool. I didn't notice that.
He knew what he was doing. That guy knew what he was doing.
And I'm just wondering, how did he obtain this ATM machine? Do I want to know?
What?
I mean, I guess you just buy an ATM machine, but you know, I'm having dark thoughts.
What would be really great is if this is like a drive-through ATM machine. He's like outside at night. Cop pulls him over. What are you doing? You breaking into it? No. Oh, I swear I'm not taking anybody's money. What is that, Duke Nukem? Where is it?
Oh, it was where. But I think Doom Guy did that too when you were like against the wall trying to find like something.
Oh, like he does the he gives you a grunt. Oh yeah. Doom just did it better.
Try these on for size, dude. Playing Doom with your Bluetooth keyboard and a pregnancy test. I can't even really make out what it is, but I'm
gonna assume it's Doom.
That's Doom, dude.
You know what? It's not a plus or a minus. I'm gonna assume it's Doom. Let's assume it's Doom.
Like, well, honey, are you expecting?
Mein Leben. Fucking Wolfenstein just coming out of nowhere. Guten Tag. Dude, I swear there's a video out there where you just like all he says, like it's all these Nazis in a room. And I know I'm going on a tangent again, but dude, there's all these Nazis in a room, like you know, bad Adolf's there and like all the rest of them, and they keep saying, like someone keeps pointing, it's like that soldier over there, and he's like, mein Leben. Like it just keeps like that sound. It just keeps playing, that little bite just keeps playing over and over again, and I don't know why. It's just so like, I don't know. It's memorable. It's kind of like the scientist in Half-Life.
Gordon, you were supposed to be in the test chamber an hour ago. You're just beating him with a crowbar for no reason. God, what a great game. That's another game we need to go delve into.
What a great...
That's a defining moment also.
You'll just have to wait until after the experiments. Hey, Gordon, you better get to the test chamber.
Chill out, Barney.
Gordon Freeman.
When I want to, after I blow this
Barney, dude.
After I blow this man's microwavable dinner up in his... And you remember you could go in the microwave and blow that man's dinner up? He was waiting to be microwaved.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hands down.
Best part of the game. No, that was a great game.
Fucking Barney, man. Hey, Gordon. They've been talking crazy. What a great game, though, man.
Yeah, that'll definitely be for another one.
All right, so Mike, let's end it. Let's end it on Doom 3, because we're gonna do a part 2 again. and that way we'll go into more 2016 Eternal and Dark Ages, because I want to kind of dig a little bit more into this.
Yeah,
But
I'd like to dig a little bit more definitely into that. Just kind of talk about some of the lore we were saying about Doom 64 and how it ties in, you know, into 2016, into Eternal, and you know where we can go from what we can expect, you know, potentially expect with the new Doom. But yeah, Doom 3. Did you play this?
oh, dude, I played the fuck out of this game, and I will go as far as to say I love 2016. I love Eternal. I'm gonna love the Dark Ages. There's no doubt about it. But dude, Doom 3 is everything I want in a video game. Everything. This was, oh man, I had just upgraded my PC when this game came out, and picked it up. Didn't think much of it. Like, I just thought it was another Doom. I knew the graphics were updated because I had PC Gamer and, you know, all of those. Was it Electronic Gaming Monthly? Like, all those. I would get all of those PC magazines. And I remember seeing, you know, the graphics that this was going to, how it was going to look. And dude, when I played this game, probably one of the first games, I would go so far as to say this was probably it was the first game that actually scared me playing it. Like, I would play it at nighttime because, mind you, this is during my Counter-Strike days. So I'm staying up late at night, still going to school, you know, trying to, you know, study and then stay up late on the weekends. And I remember playing this in my room, all the lights off, on my PC, headphones on, and this is probably the first game that I really got immersed into, like, the world of Doom. And I was, oh man, there's so many jump scares in this game, but there's also just the aesthetic of the game, like how dark it is. I mean, it is one of the darkest games you'll probably ever play. The flashlight sucked when it first came out, because you had to keep switching to your flashlight. Which was a pain. But oh man, like every iteration of this I've played. If Doom 3 comes out, they made a Doom VR, I played it. There was a Doom 3 which was great, by the way. The Doom 3 VR was amazing, like being able to play that in VR. But yeah, dude, just everything about this game. I would give this, it had some flaws as far as, like, you know, when it first came out, it has its weird shit. Like, the flashlight thing was a pain in the fucking ass until they finally updated that, where you could just, I mean, you see on the screen right now, the guy keeps flipping, he keeps switching back to his flashlight.
Yeah.
That was a pain, but I thought it was a great paced game. It had a slow burn at the beginning. Great ending, in my opinion. I thought this was the first Doom that it had a really good storyline. And but yeah, dude, I can't say enough great things about this game. This game will be top 20 favorite game of all time, easily.
Yeah,
It's just great, dude.
Sorry, I got sidebarred here for a minute looking at our live chat from Neglected Thorax. Best viewers on streamboo.com remove the space. I think we're getting roped into a potential ad for sexual content, and you know, I might go out of my way to, you know, ensure that such spam is taken care of. So Neglected Thorax, we do, you know, appreciate you jumping in. I'm assuming you're a bot, but you know, thank you for at least providing this garbage on our stream, you know, when we're trying to, you know, really delve into some things that matter aside from stream boo. But yeah, thank you for that. I do appreciate it,
dude. But if you go to streamboospace.com,
yeah, I'm hesitant on that, and then doubt I will go to that.
I think it ends up taking you. I think it ends up taking you to meatspin.com.
don't nobody. Yeah, that might not even exist anymore. It may also just
Oh, it
install your
does.
computer with malware. So I wouldn't trust any of
So
these links.
please don't go. But yeah, Doom 3. I'm watching like all the content right now. It had the locker. It had all the audio files. It was the first one that had audio files. First one that had the with your PDA. There was just so much info that you could really dive into the. You could dive into the actual world of Doom. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah,
great game.
yeah.
Great game.
This I can say exactly the same thing, man. This was an extremely immersive game for me too. I mean, at the time I had a Hoss of a computer, and it wasn't really for the reason I upgraded. So you got to think around this time. I don't know if it was the same. I'm pretty sure the same year was a hell of a year for games, man. And the two that stuck out with me was Half-Life 2 and this.
Oh, dude, that's why this didn't sell as well.
Yeah, that probably was the case. But nonetheless,
yeah,
I was amped for both games because it was the hype of Half-Life 2, the hype of getting a Doom since Doom 64. That it's like here we are with this like new next. I mean, this was kind of the start of next gen graphics here, where you had like really awesome lighting, and I believe there was ragdolling to some degree in this, if I recall correctly. But just the overall lighting and atmosphere, and this was kind of the between this and Half-Life 2. This was really the next leap that we're at now with the next gen gaming. I mean, of course, it's looks way better, and we have crazy stuff like RTX shading and all this good stuff that's out now for it. But this set a standard for its time when it came out.
Yeah, you make a really good point, because I feel like if you put Half-Life 2 and Doom 3 next to each other, they look completely different. Both have great graphics in their own right. I would say that Doom 3, from an aesthetic standpoint, looks a lot better, and that's just me. I might get roasted.
No, I mean,
but
I think as much as a Half-Life fan I am, but yeah, I agree with you.
But this was I think this was the ID Tech engine. This is probably one of the first ID Tech engines that they had, and but I think Half-Life 2, dude, their physics engine was you can't beat the physics engine from Steam and or Valve on that one.
Yeah,
that one was. I mean, and granted, I just think if it really did, I think both those games really set a precedence when it comes to games nowadays. I think this way you're right. I think you made a good point when you said this was next gen gaming. I think this really was on a PC standpoint, because even dude, that PC that I built to play this game, to have it ready, I mean, that was pretty fucking high end, and it was still having some hard time with hitting some of these lightings on there. But I mean, look at this game, dude. I mean, look at just the lighting on this alone had always blown me away.
Yeah.
It was like OpenGL, but I didn't need to download OpenGL for it.
DirectX and OpenGL.
Yeah. Monster 3D or whatever it was back in the day, Voodoo cards and all those.
This was yeah, I was like fanboying over this game so hard because all of the leaked images that came out from it. The same thing with Half-Life 2. There was just like leaked it was like that was kind of the official. I would say, I mean, I'm sure other things leaked at some point, but these two games unfortunately had some bad leaks that came with it. So with that being said, I know you talked about your dad getting key gens. I did acquire this game through means of getting to try it with like the tech demo that I guess ID would have used to just try. It was maybe like just like a little segment of the game, and I was just blown away by it. And don't get me wrong, I did buy the game, so it's not like I just pirated the entire game. So that, you know, I showed my support, but I had to get my hands on it early. Same with Half-Life 2, man. That was a big deal when these two games leaked, and of course I got my grimy little hands on them at the time. But fast forwarding, yeah, I mean, I played it, I bought both, loved both to death, played this a handful of times, probably beat it a good couple times, and just picked it up, you know, in between to just go back and play like certain levels, because I was just blown away by the everything about it. I know it doesn't really, you know, it's not really the same storyline. It's essentially a parallel universe of Doom, of what we'd expect Doom to be. Because this is almost like, okay, Doom guy came back, and like the UAC didn't learn the first time that opening a parallel dimension was probably a bad idea. So yeah, in theory, this is technically like just a
So this is
non-official canon.
you're just a random Marine that shows up.
Yeah.
You get placed on Phobos, and the scientist is opening a portal to hell. And I thought that was like, and the UAC was actually there to shut it down. Like the UAC is like, hey, dude, you got to stop. Like you know, trying to tell the scientists, like you've got to stop what you're doing, because there's been the fucking workers. And I think that's where like the creepy came out, because they were talking about like the workers are getting spooked, accidents are happening all over the place, like people are just losing their fucking arms, and they're hearing like sounds down in like, hey, we got to go to like the pits tomorrow. And you know, Jonah said they heard sounds, and it's kind of creeping me out. And like I don't know, man, I loved reading the backstory on all these, like the audio files, and reading the PDAs and
Oh
the
yeah,
emails
it
and
really led
everything.
up to this being creepy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
When you
just
first
loved the
come
whole
in and
story.
yeah, I do
Yeah,
remember that.
because you weren't super badass Marine guy.
No,
You're just Marine that just got thrown in. That
you're
was
just.
it.
I think you're just Doom Marine. You weren't like
You're just an Indian and some
you
guy.
weren't
You know,
You weren't, you weren't Doom Slayer. You're just Doom Marine, dude.
you're just Doom. Yeah, you're not Doom guy yet. Yeah, you're not Doom
No,
Slayer yet.
you're not the Slayer, dude.
But dude,
You're not the
at
man.
the end of this, with when you got the BFG and everything else, dude, you whew, tear apart
Oh
those
yeah.
cyber demons or whatever they are at the end.
Mhm.
So, but I think that'll wrap up. I think that's going to wrap up our part one.
Yeah, yeah.
Chat,
We can keep
everybody.
going on and on about this game, but
Oh yeah,
let's wrap it
yeah,
up
we
and
could.
save it for another spot to delve back into, you know, the current iterations and what we expect for uh, for the new Doom. I'm really excited for that. I cannot wait for it. So
Yeah, I'm excited to see if because don't get me wrong, I hope the Dark Ages. I really hope the Dark Ages I enjoy more than Doom 3. Like I'm waiting to play that next Doom that gets me to that, and it doesn't have to be like the creepy vibe and everything. That's just what I prefer. But I'm excited to see if the Dark Ages has that grit, has that, you know, oh man, has that dark aspect, and that's what I'm really excited about. So I'm looking forward to talking more about that for what we know and everything. So,
for sure.
but yeah, Mike, why don't you go ahead and take us out, man?
Yeah. On that note, guys, again, thank you for chiming into our first official live podcast. As always, be sure to check out our social media. We do have it at the bottom of the screen down here. It's Instagram 8bit.breakdown, TikTok 8bit.breakdown, and of course at YouTube at 8bit breakdown, all together, one word. On that note, guys, thank you again for tuning in. We hope to catch you for our second part 2 for the Doom series. And until next time, have a good night. Take care, everyone.
Bye, guys.